I found the best multi-currency card for overseas retail spend, and this is Deeper Plus One for some of you who have been asking. In my last video, Deep Plus One, we have already covered the top 3 multi-currency cards without any benefits. The first position was Amaze Wallet, secondly followed by YouTrip, Trust and GXS debit card, and lastly followed by Tiger Boss debit card. So I will be using some of these cards in my experiment in today's video, but I'll add in 2 more options. Number 1 is Instagram Amaze card, but this time linked with credit card, and specifically the Citi Rewards credit card, which could give you 4 miles per dollar. Why I link it with Citi Rewards, I don't need to explain anymore. I think most of you who watch my channel are familiar, but the thing is that it can earn the best rewards in my assumption. Okay, I will assume that it will be the winner because this combination will get me 4 miles per dollar plus 0.5% cashback in terms of Instapoints, but that comes with a slight markup, which we will explore later. The other option is DBS Altitude because currently they are running the 5 miles per dollar on foreign spend promotion, which I'll try to compare and see which one has a higher overall net benefit. Also, if you want to join like-minded people interested in talking about credit card strategies and what is the best way to spend, then come and join us at over 18,000 members in the Honey Money SG Telegram group. As of the day of recording, the exchange rate from Singapore dollars to Malaysian ringgit is 1 to 3.33, which also translates to 100 Malaysian ringgit equals to 30 Singapore dollars. So we shall see what is the net exchange rate after actual combinations. Now, just for actual case study, I do have more than 10,000 Malaysian ringgit to pay at a Malaysia furniture store in Johor. So my game plan is to charge 100 Malaysian ringgit to my top 3 winners of the last multi-currency card challenge, which is Amaze Wallet, Trust Cashback, YouTrip card, GXS debit card, and Tiger Boss debit card. And that will mean a total of 500 Malaysian ringgit charged to these multi-currency cards. Then I'll charge 1,200 Malaysian ringgit of spend with my Instagram Amaze card linked with the Citi Rewards Mastercard. For the remainder, I will then use pure credit cards like the DBS Altitude 5 miles per dollar promo. Plus, I also want to see for UOB Preferred Platinum Visa, it also gives 4 miles per dollar. But let's see which one is better out of all this challenge. But I also want to put it out there that other than min-maxing your credit card rewards, I think the most important thing is to really grow your wealth instead of, picking on all these small card strategies because they can only work like 1 or 2 times. But I think the most important thing is invest in your personal net wealth. And one way to do it is through investing, which I prefer to use interactive brokers because they offer the best exchange rates plus the widest market offerings like London Stock Exchange, so you can be assured of the lowest cost platform plus execute your trades or investments in the widest markets. So check out interactive brokers right here. And for now, let's head over to the furniture shop called Big Home. Let's go. Alright, so we are now at the furniture shop and I'm going to make my big payment of 14,500 Malaysian ringgit. So let's go to the payment and I'm going to execute my strategy of the 5 multi-currency cards plus the credit cards and whatever promos that I have. Let's go. So first, let's test the Tiger Boss debit card. So 100 Malaysian ringgit. Next up, let's test the YouTrip card. So this is 100 Malaysian ringgit as well. Then next up is the Trust Cashback card. So this one's a brand new one. Never tested before one. Trust. Okay, then the next one is the GXS debit card. This is the white color one. So we do 100 Malaysian ringgit as well. Next one is the Amaze Wallet. Alright, so this link is the Instagram Amaze card. Take note, it's Amaze Wallet, not Amaze Link card. Next one, I'm going to do the same card, Instagram Amaze card, but this time it's going to be linked with Citi Rewards. So that's going to give you 4 miles per dollar. So this is a credit card one. Alright, so for the results, I've tabulated the Excel file as well, and I'll compare against 3 factors. Number 1, the gross exchange rate, which is what is the actual exchange rate used that is displayed on the app. Number 2, the card rewards and benefit, whether there is cashback, whether there is miles, or whether there is points, or other kinds of rewards like fractional shares. Then number 3, I will calculate and work out the combined net benefit. So you can see, after considering the actual full picture, which one is the better one out of all the competitors lined up today. But I have to admit that I don't have results for the pure credit card because there is a cock up. Both DBS and UOB blocked my overseas transactions because it was not a physical card transaction. I saved it on my mobile wallet, Samsung Pay and Google Pay. And because I was making so many transactions previously with those multi-currency cards, they deem it as potential fraud. So they blocked my card. And I tried to unblock it overseas, but it doesn't work. So next time I'll bring the physical cards over in December, then I'll pay the remaining with my DBS and UOB cards. Anyway, the lesson learned here is that bring your physical card when you want to make such big overseas transactions, because the bank will see that a potential fraud, especially foreign currency, plus you are not using physical card, they suspect it's fraud lah. And the unblock is not immediate one, it takes like some time. So you don't want to be in this awkward situation. So learn the lesson from me, bring the physical card if you really want to charge to pure credit card. Anyway, back to the results. Based on what I've prepared on my spreadsheet, here are the actual results. And I'll just comment on the champion so far lah, because I think there's no point to talk about the second or third place, because people will just choose the best one for the results, right? Which is Instagram Amaze card with Citi Rewards Mastercard. And I've expected it, because let's see the details. The overall net benefit is 2.93% compared to the others, which is all less than 1%. But you will have this question, right? How do you even derive 2.93%? Let's go to the details. Firstly, you have to dictate your miles value, and for myself that is 1.25 cents per mile in terms of acquiring miles. So I don't want to acquire miles that cost more than 1.25 cents per mile, but of course you may have a different valuation, and that benefit will only increase if your miles valuation is higher, like 1.5 or even 1.8 cents per mile. But I'm using 1.25, so let's make this very clear. So for my 1,200 Malaysian ringgit, it was charged at a spot rate of 3.335, which meant that the spot cost was 1,200 divided by 3.335, which is $359.82. This is a perfect case scenario because the world is imperfect. You will never get the exact spot rate. So we have to calculate the markup, which you can see from my Instagram app that my posted amount was $369.56. And that means a posted foreign exchange rate of 3.247, which means that if I take 3.247 divided by 3.335, that means a markup of 2.64%. 2.64% markup, wow, now Instagram Amaze last time less than 2%, now more than 2.6% already. But of course, this is just one example. Your results may vary across different times, different days. So why having a foreign exchange markup of 2.64% still can be the champion there? I know many of you must be cursing Instagram Amaze already. Walao, how can they give such a weak exchange rate? Actual spot rate around 3.33. You give me 3.3, I'm so happy. How can you give me 3.247? Complain already, right? But let's not forget that there are other rewards and benefits for Instagram Amaze. Firstly, Instapoints, 0.5% if you make an equivalent of 10 Singapore dollars in foreign currency. So 0.5% of my transaction amount, that will be 185 Instapoints, which is equals to $1.85 Singapore dollars. And let's add on my credit card benefit of 4 miles per dollar. So 4 times 1.25 cents per mile, that is 5% cashback, which I also need to multiply by the transaction amount of around $369, which means that is $18.45 from miles converted to cash value based on my cents per mile. So if you take the transacted cost minus away the benefit, here is the math. $369.56 minus $1.85 minus $18.45, which gives you $349.26. So for the net benefit, we will just take the net cost divided by the spot cost, which is 1 minus 349.26 divided by 359.82, which is 2.93%. And this is how I got my net benefit being 2.93%. And if you look at the others on this Excel spreadsheet, you realize that most of them don't even cross 1% when I apply the same math formula. You can, of course, download this spreadsheet and play around with yourself. And, just download from my coffee link down here. And, if it works for you, you want to tip me, go ahead. But don't need lah. Just click on my interactive brokers thing will do. Moreover, if you sign up for Instagram Amaze now, do you know you can get 300 KrisFlyer miles? And that's quite good, right? 300 miles, if you divide by 4 miles per dollar, you need $75 of spend, So now you get free 300 miles if you sign up for Instagram Amaze using my code HoneyMoney and with this referral link. Very important, click on this link. Number 2 position may surprise some of you because it is not trust. It is not YouTrip. It is Amaze Wallet, but this time it's with the cash. It is not with the credit card. Because even if I top up with PayLah, the net benefit is 0.45%. Okay, I don't want to go through the math. It's exactly the same. You can just check it through my Excel file. But let me know if there's any calculation error. This is based on my own calculation. Then the rest of the positions, I would say they are very close. Be it GXS, Tiger Boss Debit, YouTrip card, Trust card. And I have really included all their benefits, be it cashback or, gyro cashback, fractional shares, whatever rewards I already included them. Even GXS have rewards. So I would say there is very minimal difference. If you are really comfortable with one of them, be it YouTrip Trust or whatever, just stick to it. If you don't believe in Instagram Amaze credit card link, that is fine also. You don't have to change one. Just use what is most convenient for you. But if you really want the sign up links, they are all in the description below. So don't sign up naked. At least use the link to get some rewards first lah. Or don't shortchange yourself. Use the link in the description. Anyway, this deeper plus one video really not easy to make. Even though I already planned, but 计划赶不上变化. You know, change will affect your plans. Like my cock out of the credit card, I thought I could finish it, you know, then I could clock my foreign currency spend. But turns out life don't work as perfectly as you wanted it to be. So I have to set up for another trip in December, deeper plus 2, to complete my UOB and DBS credit card transaction, and then I'll put it in the Excel file again. And hopefully that will end the debate of which multi-currency card or even credit card you should use, because I'm tired of all these comparisons by other people online who don't look at the full picture. But if you want to see a deep video, not deeper video, just deep video, I compared 8 multi-currency cards in my previous episode, which you should check out in the previous video right here.